Okay, Alex, he was getting ready to jump in with the Coast Guard. He put on the life vest and everything, and so he's going to take us out on the water. Alex.
Hey, yeah, I am live out here on a Coast Guard boat. I did not know that this was happening until about an hour ago, but
okay.
They always praise versatility and adaptability here in news, right? So here I am, though, and this is actually a really cool opportunity that Lieutenant Junior Grade Lyman Dickinson kind of offered 13 News Now. So what we are going to be seeing, well, first we're actually going to, in a couple minutes, be seeing the rescue demo that the Coast Guard puts on at Harborfest, usually on the first day. Correct me if I'm wrong, are there multiple rescue demos throughout the weekend, or is this the one that people are about to see here? Is this the one that is the whole weekend?
We have one planned for today and tomorrow.
Okay. So over my right shoulder, a Coast Guard helicopter is actually about to come in to this section of the Elizabeth River to where Harborfest is taking place. And for folks that have not seen this in action, it's quite the spectacle. It's basically a demonstration of a search and rescue operation for the U.S. Coast Guard. Basically, we're gracious enough and grateful enough to be able to have this vantage point from the water itself. And where our boat is going is actually the Incident Command Center, the Unified Command Center. And this is basically the location. You can see and hear the helicopter off in the distance there. Where we are going on this boat is the Unified Command Center, and it is basically the Joint Operations Center for the Coast Guard, local law enforcement, fire, state, local, federal responders. They are all based out of that one hub, just making sure that the waters here at Harborfest are safe, that they are, that everything is moving and happening the way it's supposed to be. And so you can actually see over Lieutenant Dickinson's left shoulder there, the helicopter. And so if I'm doing a little bit of play-by-play here, you can basically see that the Coast Guard helicopter is demonstrating to all of the guests and the patrons here at Harborfest, this is what a Coast Guard rescue operation looks like, and people are getting a first-hand view of it. So I'd be happy to take any questions if I'm able to hear it this close to the helicopter.
Yeah, that is always a really fascinating thing, Alex. I don't know if you can hear me, but occasionally we do cover these stories where the Coast Guard.
I can, yeah, I can, Janet.
Yeah, we cover these occasionally where the Coast Guard, has to go out and do these absolutely fascinating rescues. I mean, the amount of time and training that it takes. I mean, can you ask him a little bit about that, about what the training that goes into this, being able to do it?
Yeah, and it's actually a crazy, it's actually a pretty, I think we're gonna get a little bit wet here.
Uh-oh.
Potentially. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all part of the Harborfest experience, right? And I will answer that question in just a couple seconds once I know a little bit more about what to expect from a visual standpoint.
This is interesting just to watch.
So, yeah, I mean, where else could you find this vantage point apart from the hard work of 13 News Now's Alex Littlehales coordinating this interview and this never-before-seen vantage point? Oh, getting a little sprinkles here. But it is actually quite refreshing, the water that's being kicked up from the Elizabeth River, because it is hot out here. And a little bit of me is pretty thankful that this water is misting me just a little bit. You can probably see the water in the camera lens a little bit.
Yeah, I can see you're getting a little sprinkle there. Now, are they gonna let down a ladder or something, or?
Let me ask
Okay.
our wonderful military official here. Hold on, let me ask him this question. And what I was actually told is that Lieutenant Dickinson actually dropped this little nugget as we were up close to the helicopter. Lieutenant Dickinson actually used to do this Now, when you say you used to do this, did you mean at Harborfest, or this was your military career, was operations like this?
This was my prior career before I commissioned as an officer. I was a helicopter rescue swimmer in the helicopter.
And one of my colleagues, Janet Roach, is basically asking me to ask you, just to explain the level of training, the level of expertise, and just the level of commitment when you are tasked with doing, an operation like what we're seeing here.
The training is very difficult for a reason. We all take this job very seriously. We want our training to be harder than anything we're going to experience in real life, because when we train, we think about having to go save our own family, save our own children, and we want to be prepared for any situation. So that's why our training is the way it is.
Would you mind explaining to us and people watching our stream just what we are seeing? I see someone out of the open bay door there, so what exactly are we going to be seeing?
So right now the rescue swimmer is positioned in the door. They're doing their final checks between the flight mechanic who operates the hook and the pilot. And right now the swimmer is doing a free fall deployment into the water. So the swimmer gives the I'm okay signal, the helicopter will back away. Right now the crew is talking internally because the pilot cannot see what's going on in the water. So it's a lot of teamwork between the rescue swimmer, the flight mechanic, and the pilot. All through internal comms, they're helping each other out.
And I just realized that that person that just deployed into the water, I mean, they're wearing a ton of gear. I mean, how much weight is that, and how much more difficult does that make this entire experience?
Altogether, it weighs anywhere from 20 pounds to 30 pounds, depending on the season. Makes it difficult, but we train for it. We've got the right equipment.
How many of those kind of rescue operations did you do in your time and in your professional career before, switching over and taking a backseat a little bit?
Alex, I wish I would have kept a better record, but there's countless times where we were out helping each other. Not only me, but everybody I worked with.
Where were you stationed? Where did you do most of your active duty, if that's what you would call it?
Yep. I was stationed in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, and San Diego.
Oh, you're from Savannah. Oh, you spent some time in Savannah.
Did spend some time.
Okay, that was my last media market. So
all right.
Yeah, and so now that the
Talk you through what's going on.
Yeah, talk me through what's going on over my right shoulder now that this guy's in the water.
So right now the helicopter flew away, and the rescue swimmer is using their radio to direct the helicopter back to their position. Once the helicopter gets into position, the swimmer will signal for a rescue device. That flight mechanic will communicate what the swimmer is saying with his hands, right? It's all hand signals from the water. We do have radio communications, but we primarily use our hand signals. Once the helicopter comes back into a hover, they'll get the rescue device ready, lower the rescue device, and the rescue swimmer will simulate putting a survivor into the rescue device.
So basically all that we're missing from this simulation itself is someone someone that's in the water and it needs rescuing. But everything that we're seeing is how it would look, minus someone who's in actual danger, correct?
Yep, exactly. And that's how we train every single time, no matter where you are in the country. It's going to look exactly the same because we want to have it ingrained. So when it's time to do the job, we can react appropriately and we fall back on our training when things get stressful.
Now, in other training scenarios, is there, because in this situation, there doesn't appear to be, a buoy or a thing that is being rescued. In other training demos and simulations and practice, is there something or someone that this person is supposed to be, quote unquote, rescuing?
Yes, we used a couple of different things. We refer to it as SpongeBob or Rescue Randy. And so if you ever see somebody throwing something out of the helicopter during one of these demonstrations, it's designed. Woo.
Well, Janet, it must be very nice and dry and warm in the studio back at 13 News now.
Yeah, it is, Alex, but yet you having that vantage point to see that fascinating work, that has to be, even though you're getting sprinkled there, that has to be fascinating. I just think what they do, you cannot thank them enough for that hard work. I mean, just imagine how thankful the people are who get rescued like that, because wow. I mean, you're definitely in a life or death situation, and the training must be pretty intense, and they do it so precisely and just seemingly easily. I know that can't be an easy job, but very fascinating, and yeah, we thank them for everything they do.
Yeah, I would say that the point you just brought up is something I was organically going to bring up myself, is that when you're out here, when you're literally feet away from the demonstration, from this rescue, they do really make it look so easy. And I think that that speaks to just the level of preparedness and the seriousness that, you know, folks like the Coast Guard, like Lieutenant Dickinson, like the seriousness and the level of intensity that they bring to their job. I can't imagine, and maybe this is something you could speak to, I can't imagine that anyone who wants to go into the Coast Guard or wants to get into this line of work, they do it because they feel a need to help, right? They feel a desire to bring some kind of positive impact to the world. Is that what you, I mean, what can you tell me just sort of about the people that get into this line of work from an active duty standpoint?
I believe everybody has their own story, but there's a nucleus of service to our community, to our country. And no matter what job we do, we're always providing a service to our country. We do it with a smile on our face, and we all love our jobs.
So again, you are seeing the Coast Guard demo of a search and rescue operation here, and it's quite the sight for it. I mean, if you can tell, I mean, the Portsmouth border, the water line for Portsmouth is right there. Just a couple of feet behind me on my left shoulder is Town Point Park. And here, hundreds of spectators are simply witnessing the kind of practice and the kind of hard work that active duty Coast Guard members do on a daily basis. So, yeah, that was cool, I'd say, Janet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Alex, you can hear me?
I can, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, just a commitment to duty of service. Yeah, wipe down a little bit. Yeah, we see all the sprinkles on the camera, but hey, it was worth it. That was really fascinating. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. Tell him thanks so much for taking you out and being able to share that with us, because it really gives us a greater appreciation for what the Coast Guard can do.
Yeah, I'll get it later.
We're gonna need to go this way. Stay to the right.
If that's something you want me to relay, Janet?
Yeah, sure. Relay that to him. Yeah, we really appreciate him being able to share that with us. Yeah, pretty fascinating.
I will, and sorry if...
Maybe you go past that red building.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can still hear me, Janet, but we are on our way to what we were originally intended to actually... That was actually a bonus.
Oh.
That was a bonus treat. And because what we are doing right now is we are going to the Coast Guard's Incident Command Center, and basically we did not want to interfere with the rescue operation and the demonstration that was going on in front of us, right? So that was actually a complete bonus. We weren't necessarily supposed to see that from that vantage point, but we did it. Hey, so.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for that. That was really neat to see. And it's all the more reason why, Harborfest is an example of everything that Harborfest has. I mean, a lot of people think about the food and the fireworks and the drone show, but it's so much more to it than that. There's so many different educational components, and we've been seeing a lot of that this afternoon.
I know that you're just kind of rolling with the punches as well, so I'm sorry.
I'm glad it's something I knew how to talk about.
All right, Alex, thank you.